on, y'all? Welcome to Meat Cranium Barbecue Review. Today is the day. Today is when I'm going to make a brisket and really put this Spider 22 pellet adapter for the 22.5-inch Weber kettle to the test. I'm extremely busy. I don't have much time to really do and like babysit grills a whole lot anymore. So I'm gonna be doing a couple of cooks in the next couple of weeks. That's gonna kind of show you. You have to go one of two extremes. Either you have to go really hot and fast, or this today is gonna be ultra low and slow. Gonna cook this brisket, gotta set that pellet smoker to about 200 degrees. What I have here is a 16-pound brisket. I'm gonna cut off probably maybe about 2 pounds, maybe 1.5 pounds of some fat. This is still gonna be probably about a 15-pound, it's be probably about a 14.5 pound brisket when I get done. I'm gonna put the camera down, they're gonna show you, I'm gonna get the grill set up, but let's look at the setup. All right, so I'm pleasantly to know that I'm able to put my Barbecue Dragon shelf, my side shelf, with the kettle. So I have everything ready to go, but in the review video, I actually set up the diffuser wrong and how I did the tray. So this drip channel right here has this slot. That's where the grease actually goes through. I was supposed to put this through this part right here. So it's supposed to go like this, which actually makes sense. Here we go like this. And then this goes through the little slot in the kettle right here. Like so. So now the grease is gonna, or whatever oils gather, is gonna come through this little slot right here, and it's gonna go down below, and let's go down below and we'll show you something. So now you have a little hook right here that comes down. This right here is the adapter for my Flame Boss, but we're gonna ignore that. And then right here, now this little hook right here, you can use either a pail or I'm going to use a can. I'm going to use an aluminum can. I'm going to pull the tab all the way up like this. Going to hang it right there on that, and then the grease feasibly should drip down into that channel. Let's see, let's go this way. I guess the grease will find its way down the side there, or I can use a pail. One of those two ways. So, but anyhow, you're supposed to be able to hang a can there, and the grease will drip down into it. Since I'm going to 200, I'm going to turn this to 250. I'm gonna let it run for 5 minutes. I'm gonna shut it off so that the firebox gets the pellets in it. I'm gonna shut it off for 30 seconds and I'm gonna turn it to my desired temp, which is gonna be 200 degrees. That's kind of what they recommend, so that's what I'm gonna do. So while I wait for the 5 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna trim the fat and also season this up. I'm gonna use 2 layers. Today I'm gonna be using It's Incredible, which it truly is incredible. And then I'm also going to be using another thing of Suchi spices they sent me, a big Texas rub. I haven't used this yet, but I'm going to try it out. I tried it dry, and I put it into this shaker bottle here to make it a little bit more easier to put onto the brisket. And I'm also going to introduce a fire tube into the pit as well. This is get more smoke inside of the pit. I had a bigger one I was going to try to put some wood chips into, but unfortunately I cannot find my other one because I'm a slob and my stuff is all over the place and I can't find it. So I had to go to Walmart and get this tube. I'll tell y'all what the name of this thing is here in a little bit. Okay, this is what it's called, a Maze-In smoke tube. Got this from Walmart. So kind of do a review of this thing as well. All right, so there you go. Time to get the trim in this. I'm not gonna do a whole lot of trim on this. Oh yeah, this is a select brisket from Walmart. I've actually had very good luck with select brisket. Got this one gap right here, this one gash, looks like that's from the butcher, which doesn't really make me too happy, but oh well. But what does make me happy is making meat. That makes me really happy. All right, so I could probably sit here and trim this thing all day, but I'm ready to get this thing on the pit. Now it's time to season it up. The binder I'm using is just going to be the water that I rinsed it off with. You rinsed off the brisket? Yeah, I did, sure did. If you don't rinse off your meat, it's pretty damn nasty, honestly. So first layer is going to be some It's Incredible. You don't need to put too much rub on the fat here. It's gonna kind of lightly dust it. Get those cracks in there now. Now it's time for the big Texas rub, sushi spices. All right, so it's been 5 minutes. I just turned this off for 30 seconds, and now I'm gonna turn it to 200. You have a smoke setting here. The smoke setting is the first setting is for 175. All right, now back to the brisket. All right, the brisket's ready to go. Now time to get the smoke tube on. All right, so the flames are coming up really good out of the fire pot. Now I'm just gonna place the smoke tube right here. Now the smoke tube has one end open over here. That's where you're supposed to light it, but it's kind of awkward to get in there, so I'm just gonna light it from the other end. I'm gonna let it burn that way. Let these pellets here get nice and lit, put everything back together and get the brisket on. So right now it's just getting lit. As soon as it catches fire, I'm gonna blow out the flame and just let it smoke. This tube right here should smoke for about 4 hours. That's about all the smoke that you really need. Look, it's already catching fire, look at that. There. Let it burn for a little bit. All right, there, it's starting to smoke already, good. Set this to the side. So your little probe there needs to be about 2 inches from the meat. And I'm not gonna put a temp probe in here yet. I'm not really too worried about it, because if it doesn't go above 200, you really don't have to worry about the temps too much, because I'm going ultra low and slow. However, I'm going to put some probes in it, probably another couple hours or something. So it's time to get the lid on. Okay, and then they also suggest vent be completely open. I'm gonna try to contain as much smoke as I can, so I'm still gonna do it about halfway. So I'm personally gonna do it halfway. Spider 22 actually suggests that the vent is completely open. So, but I don't follow the rules. That's it. So I'll be putting temp probes here in a couple more hours. So this is gonna go, I have no idea how long this is gonna take. 14, 15, 16, 12 hours, I have no idea. So I'll see you back then. Oh yeah, I just want to let you know the time I started this brisket was 9 a.m. So it's kind of a timestamp. So 9 a.m. is when I started. All right, 2 hours later, that smoke tube is still going real good. And it's at 205. Let's see how many pellets I got in here. After 3 hours, let's see what kind of usage it's doing. Oh look, I got a ton of pellets in there. After 3 hours, so just use a little bit of pellets, but then again, I have it at 200 degrees. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Really good. And it's at 205. So it's holding temperature. All right, so it has been 5 hours. Temperature 5 hours later is at 205. Okay, so time right now is 3:19. It's still hanging at 200. There we go, still pegged at 200, exactly where I want it to be. It's time to put the temperature probes in and see what we got going on. All right, let's get some temperature probes in here. See what we got. Look how beautiful that is. What a great color. I love that color. That's after 6 hours. I'm gonna be putting in Old Reliable. Gonna be doing the Inkbird. I love this temp probe, man. This thing is super cool right here. I got room for 4 probes right here. I'm only going to use the first 2, but I've got room for 4. So let's put one in right here. Feeling pretty good at 200 degrees. Put that one in right there. The flat is at 151 and the point is at 145. There we go. Put the lid back on. Still have a ways to go. 145, but this is ultimate low and slow. I've got to go do all kinds of stuff today and not have to worry about it while the brisket sat here and is cooked. The smoke tube actually lasted for 5 hours, which is better than advertised. So I really like that. Okay, so it's currently 6 o'clock. It's been 9 hours. Let's take a look at the brisket. I have been home during this whole 9 hours. I've been home roughly for about an hour off and on. Go ahead and get this thing sprayed. Look at that, that's beautiful. The bark is definitely setting on there. Let me get the zoom in on this bark right here. This is pretty nice. Really low, really slow. This bark is definitely set on here. The only thing that's in here is water. That's it. Current temperature, internal temp right now is flat 149 flat, 156 in the point. So that's that. All right, 9 hours later, let's see how the pellets are looking in the hopper here. Still have quite a bit of pellets in there, so it's about halfway gone, and the smoke tube is completely burnt up as well. Another thing, I took out a can that was here out, and I replaced it with a pail, because if you look down below on my driveway, what is that? That is grease on my driveway. It's getting to be nighttime, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap the brisket. I'm going to up the temperature up. I've got everything done that I need to get done today, so the only thing I got left to do is this brisket. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to crank this thing up to 275. Oh wait, hold on, I can't put it 275 because there's no 275 knob. I can't adjust it to 275. It's either 250 or 300. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this thing to 300, and I'm going to go ahead and finish this thing off. I'm going to wrap this thing in some butcher paper and get this thing done. There you go, there's the brisket. Let's get it wrapped up. Don't handle hot brisket with your bare hands. That's not very smart to do. Spray some water on there, get this bad boy wrapped up. I went 2 layers, I got a layer here and I got a layer here. Wrap them up. Now this is gonna go onto a 300-degree pit. There we go. Alright, so I know I'm gonna hear this already in the comment section. I would just put it into the oven. I would put it at 300 and set it in the oven for the rest of the cook. Well, that would probably be good, and yeah, I probably could put it in the oven. But guess what? I'm not doing a test on my oven. I'm doing a test on the Spider 22 pellet smoker. So now I've cranked it up to 300 degrees, and now I'm gonna see how it handles at 300-degree temp. Because I had it at 200 for the last 9 hours. Now it's going to 300 to finish off this cook. Right now the pellets are still about halfway. I'm gonna check it here in a couple more hours, and when it starts getting down a little bit low, I'm gonna fill that thing back up with some more pellets. So right now, so far, so good. It's gonna stay inside the Weber kettle for the rest of the cook. And by the way, this is like really cool, like the smoke going around me. This is awesome. I need to have like an intro that does this. Alright, so time now is 8 o'clock. It's been on there now for 11 hours. Right here in the flat, it's at 172. In the point, it's at 160. And it is currently still maintaining a 300 temperature. So even though I cranked it up really high, it's still maintaining temperature. Listen to how many pellets are in the hopper. Still have quite a bit of pellets in here. Now, you're not supposed to open this up a lot, but I'm doing it for demonstration purposes. So there you go. Still got quite a bit of pellets in there. I'll probably check it another hour at 12 hours and probably add some more pellets to it. All right, so a question that might arise is this unit Wi-Fi or Bluetooth capable? No, it's not, but maybe future units might be, but of course it'd probably be more, I'd imagine. But I was kind of thinking about that in case that question's asked. No, this is not Wi-Fi or Bluetooth capable. I don't know if it has an app or anything like that. I haven't looked into that. All right, so it's currently 9:30. Let's take a look at the pellets. Right now, the temperature in the flat is at 194. We just left again. We had to go somewhere. So in the flat right now, it's at 194. In the point, it's at 187. So it's progressing beautifully now. And those temperatures internal are starting to tighten up a lot better. I like that. Let's see what the pellets look like in here. This is after 12.5 hours. This is 6 hours at 200. And now it's been 6.5 hours at 300. So that's what the pellets look like. That's the amount of pellets. So it's gonna need to be refilled here in about another 30 more minutes. Okay, time now is 11 o'clock. Flat is currently at 205 and the point is at 199. I'm going to pull it. Generally, I like to pull about 210. However, the carryover should get me to right about that 210, 207, 210 probably. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it now. I think that's a nice temperature and a nice round number, being 14 hours. So that's how long it's been. It has been 14 hours that this has been on. Get it pulled. I'm gonna put it into an aluminum pan over here and cover it with some foil. We're gonna let this rest for about an hour, 2 hours maybe. It's 11 o'clock, so if I crack this open, or I might even go tomorrow morning. So for right now, it's done. It's got to rest, so all those juices inside can reabsorb. So as far as I'm concerned, the cook's done. All right, let's see how many pellets we ended up with for 14 hours. There we go, still got pellets in there. Better look right there. So still have pellets in there. It's time to shut it off. Turn this all the way off. There we go. And what I like about this, now it's going to go into a 15-minute timer. It actually counts down, which I really like, until it finally shuts down. So it's like 12:30 right now. It's pretty late, so I'm gonna try to keep it down. I'm gonna give this a try. All right, here's that point, that piece of that point. Man, just melts in the mouth. And here's the thing, you can taste the smoke in there. That extra smoke tube in there, that really did this really well. All right, well, here's that flat. Oh yeah. Deep smoke ring right there. Just melts in the mouth. That's some good stuff. There you go. Spider 22. I think you guys have a good thing going. There's a few tweaks, a few additions, a few things that y'all need to do to improve this thing. But however, this thing performed beautifully. I went, the first was at 9.5 hours. I went at 200 degrees. And then I went 3.5 hours at 300 degrees. This thing changed temperatures and it did everything perfectly. No complaints on how its performance is. Y'all go and check them out. If y'all already have an existing 22-inch Weber kettle, this could be a great addition, so you don't have to go out and get yourself a pellet smoker. Anyhow, like, subscribe. I'll see you next week. Ciao.